What's up, guys? Just landed in New Orleans. It's 25 degrees outside. I did not expect that. Today, my good friend Christina Ritchie of the Make More Parts YouTube channel, check her out, invited me to come hang out with her over at the Goata facility. So a lot of you guys have heard of Goata, and when she invited me to come hang out with them, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to continue to educate myself on the human body and try to make sense of this complex thing we have. At the end of the day, in my opinion, the better the body moves, the better you swing the club. So like I said, any opportunity to kind of learn new things, I'm sure I'll learn a thing or two along the way. I'm all about it. So I hope you guys enjoy this today. I believe the rough itinerary is we are going to they're going to give us an overview of their philosophy and then actually do some type of assessment on our body. From there, they will prescribe some correctives, and then at the end of the day, we're going to do a little workout as well as shoot a podcast with them. So excited to kind of see how this day plays out. Hope you guys enjoy this. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so we're in the education room slash
recovery room slash speed treadmill room.
All right, so I'll let you take it from here. He's going to give us a little overview of what he's looking at and what essentially helped him lead to the conclusion he's at today.
Right, so the conclusion is that the human body is energy, that we are organic material using the same energy mathematics as a flower, as an ocean wave, as an ocean hurricane, as even a polar vortex is kind of moving in a circle up there. Nautilus shells, you just see what's called the golden ratio mathematics and everything. So that same mathematics is in us. And it comes with this incredible durability forever, till you're 100 years old. We call it anti-fragility for life. And in the human body, we have to check off these 9 boxes all the time, every day, 24 hours a day. 9 boxes. 3 boxes at the bottom, the pre-movement fundamentals we call them. 3 boxes in the middle, the energy fundamentals we call them. That's Goata, the greatest of all time actions. We create the greatest of all time athlete. And at the top, we're maintaining those fundamentals. So at the top, we want to make sure the way we sleep and the way we sit at the bar, when we stand at the bar, sit at the bar, or the restaurant, or the church, and the way we rest when we study, when we watch television, or we play on the ground with our kids, we want to make sure that that environment feeds the golden spiral mathematics, or movement, go to movement. So in the human body, the way we teach it is this way. We show our athletes what we call an aligned gyroscope place. So some people call it collinear, where planets will line up in a line. And in the human body, it's the shoulder gyroscope, the hip gyroscope, and the ankle gyroscope will be in one beautiful line. And the inside ankle bones will play high. That's Goata Joe, one of our Goatas. That's Kawhi Leonard at the foul line. That's an indigenous person. And then these columns is what we use to walk or crawl. We create energies around the 2 columns. Ed Reed, Simone Biles. And we know the injury-prone athlete violates these columns. So really, you should look down here at Greg Odom and Zion Williams, because they're doing what Anthony Davis is doing right now. Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant. They play inside ankle bone low, feet outside their columns. So we want the columns to line up. These are some of the 3 best endurance athletes in America right now. So, and notice how they're all sitting on the podium, straight feet, inside ankle bone high. So the second box we got to check is what we call the back chain dominant check. The human being was designed to move forward. The eyes are in front of the head. So we're never walking backwards anywhere, or even sideways. In order to do that really efficiently, the baby starts with what we call butt behind and below the rib cage. Butt behind and below the rib cage. You see the turn, right? Back chain dominant turn. Back chain, so it's up in a pitch. It's like a little pitch forward, which is diametrically opposed to cadaver science training, which they teach what's called dynamic tension. But in essence, is if you was on the top of of a cliff, a pyramid cliff, and it came to a nice sharp angle, and you try to find balance in the middle of it, you would really struggle, because you're gonna fall forward, you're gonna fall left. We don't do that. We like get in the back chain and counterbalance the trunk with the butt, and the haunch is what we call it. Why? Because we're always going that way. We're never really moving backwards, unless we're gymnasts, high jumpers, and then you see the reverse pattern. You see what's called knee in, knee out. Butt behind rib cage. This is how you do it. Butt behind rib cage. This is thrust, hips forward, rib cage starts to move back behind the butt. Now, where it's confusing is when you see from the side view this angle, because what you're seeing is it's a fully cornered hip on the left side. This is the most confusing thing. I always say the most confusing thing in Goata is to understand that a cornered hip is moving from the back chain. Look at here. But that's all coming from a back chain dominant corner with a long decompressed spine, like that. Pow, pow. That's all you see from the side view. Looks like extension. It's powering from the back chain. It's not extension. We call it cornering from the back chain. The last one is you got to be inside ankle bone high and supple in the ancient poses. There's only two, and then you split them and you create contralateral movement. The ancient poses is the squat, feet straight, inside ankle bones high, and we really do need a hinge. Bam, you want to get over here, Josh, and do a hinge for me? So do a hinge. Inside ankle bones high, go all the way down. Beautiful. If you palpate the inside ankle bone and the outside ankle bone, notice which one of them is playing higher. The inside is playing higher than the outside. That's why we call it inside ankle bone high. There's a reference, polarity reference to the outside ankle bone. And he makes it look stupid easy. Okay. So if it's true that all the great athletes who never got hurt would do it, Kipchoge, the fastest man in history in the marathon, Ed Reed, Juan Perez is a 79-year-old man that runs around here in the middle of summer. Look, inside ankle bone high, straight foot. Alex, that's my Coach Gary's little girl. John Moran is one of the main Goatas in NBA. When you land, you create what's called an energy wave. We call it the rotary Goata bow. And you see with a foot straight, inside ankle bone high, the knee out and the chest is out and the upper arm is out because the humeral head is rotated out. That's the land. You see it in the babies, you see it in the indigenous tribes, and you see it in sport. This is Michael, he's dribbling off the left side, but you see the beautiful inside ankle bone high. That's a nice inside ankle bone high. Think about you guys' assessments where, and he's turning a little bit. And then you see it, Reggie White, the greatest defensive player ever. You see it in our athletes, Goata Joe and the baby. By the way, this was the YouTube video and the Instagram video that put us on the map. When I showed Joe's spiral lines and the baby doing the same thing, that's when the world started to wake up. So this is our wall of shame. And here's where we show workouts, field work that destroy the energy behavior. The Olympic lifts, crooked feet, inside ankle bone low, stiff spine. The field work around cones, crooked feet, inside ankle bone low, stiff spine. The instability perturbation training, crooked feet, inside ankle bone low, stiff spine. So you see the same pattern. And when the knee shreds and the Achilles ruptures, it all comes off that physics and the mechanical mathematics of modern day training.
There's a transfer of energy through the joint system of the body. If those joints aren't aligned properly, that energy can't transfer properly. So when Odell's trainer opens his feet up, or he puts him duck-footed or outside those columns, neurologically he's patterning an energy system that's not healthy.
And all the great golf coaches in the world, Jack Grout, Jack Nicklaus's coach, everybody's a Goata coach. Because what happens is, Gankis is a Goata coach, is they stumble upon something that works. And that thing that works with a lot of people is a Goata move. Gary Player's kick in start. It's a Goata move, right? Hogan's waggle. It's a Goata move. It's bows and corners. It's all there. It's always been there. But only the greatest athletes of all time had it. The people that never made it to the tour or the NBA or the NFL, they either got hurt or they were bad movers. All right, y'all want to do some assessments?
We just went through the analysis. Coach Gill, what did you identify?
Well, first of all, let me tell you why we identify we call the breaks in the mathematics of energy. So we want to identify first what would cause you to have a non-contact catastrophic, specifically to a ligament, like an ACL, or a tendon, like an Achilles. The second reason is if you decide you want to lose weight and start running 3 miles an hour, we want to make sure you don't tear up cartilage in your knee, cartilage in your hip. So what I identified with Josh is as he's violating 2 major principles before he even starts to use the energy mathematics. One, his hips and his hip gyroscope and his ankle gyroscopes are not aligned, so he's playing in what's called a pyramid stance. We can't do that in Goata because we're using the gyroscope alignment system, the columns, to move the bows and corners around those energy lines. The second is he's still playing in what's called a front chain dominant environment, and it's going to restrict him from accessing the mathematics of the 22.5, specifically at the ankle and the hip. And then the third thing is because he's been in his front chain for so long, his landing is very, what we call Woata, sketchy. So we got to get him a better landing.
So, but I'm not completely a Woata. You said
no.
You said I got some
you're
some
right.
Goata characteristics.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Good feet, good strong feet. Beautiful spine, and we know that because he's one of the best long drivers in the world. And his shoulders, gyroscopes are working magnificently. So he's doing well. We just got to fix it.
So I'm a Boda. So I'm in between. So let's see if we can get to the other side.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do is they're gonna put together a regimen for me. I'm going to do this regimen for 33 days.
Correct.
To really
14 to 33 days. We like 21 minimum, but if you get bored after 14, reach out.
All right. So basically, I'm gonna do this regimen, and I'm gonna be super disciplined about it, and then I'm gonna see kind of what the changes are over those 30 days.
And I'll just finish by saying that the violations of the we call them the Woata violations, that's making him a Boda status athlete. We can fix that by giving him a recipe or a regimen, and it's all based on his individual scores in assessment.
Perfect. Let's get to it.
These first 2 are designed strictly to get you to start to feel the parallel pose. So you're going to get down in Caesar parallel geometry.
Cornering, this is bowing.
Good.
So slightly different configuration.
Then from there, all I want you to do is just start rocking side to side. That's it.
So you're still pulling your
Give me a
toes
good
around.
20.
You can. I feel.
Then I'll give you the second phase of it. It's more of a strength phase. And 20. Now what I want you to do is rise and kick your heels out without your feet leaving the ground. But don't fall forward. Both of them. Yep. Bilateral fly kicks. Yep, that's it. That's it. Now don't thrust. Don't come into the thrust. Right, that's perfect.
Yeah, so this
8,
is rocker, we call them rocker runners.
9, and 10.
That's my favorite.
Beautiful. And we'll go with Bam and find out what he wrote the rest of your regimen. So we want to walk out a little bit, and then we want to sit on the wall.
Into the mat.
And then we always want to make sure that our knees are behind the ankles. This should all be felt in the back chain. We want to wiggle our toes in this one specifically because we're not going after a performance bow or corner. We're going after a pre-movement fundamental. So then we always want to keep our rib cage below and behind the butt. That's one of the keys to go to back chain dominant technology. So right now I'm feeding the back chain strength in the isometric pose, right? And I'm also feeding the parallel system we call a line in the gyroscopes. And I would like you just a little bit more now. That's it, right there. Perfect.
Am I lined up the middle?
Correct. Come sit. So you do like to tilt to your right side because you're a golfer, right? So right shoulder low in golf. So notice his kneecaps are perfectly straight. His second toe is straight. Hips are level, knees are level, shoulders are level. And you have that little bit of lateral curve some people call scoliosis. And you're going to hold that position for 6 minutes. So this exercise is called an elevated drop-in with mini board technology and elevated technology. So we're going to use a stool or the step stool to kind of raise him up to create more recruitment of the energy. And of course we're going to use one of our Goata sports boards in order to keep his inside ankle bones a little high. So what we want you to do, Josh, we want you to move back first, then rotate, then flex the knee and drop. And we're going to see this mathematics of a 22.5 out. Sternum bone 22.5 out, and if you want, you can put the humeral head right there on the same mathematics. Now stand up, and then drop. Get that knee out, yeah? Stand up, and then drop. Now where you feeling? Put your hand on where you feeling the recruit. This is Goata. When the athlete says, I feel it right here, that's back chain dominant, energy recruitment. You can call it muscle or you can call it fascia, whatever you want, and then hold that position for a second. And then if we let him simmer in here, you'll start to see his nervous system start to shake. And that just means that his back chain's not strong enough to hold the position. All right, one more, Josh. Up and then drop. Beautiful. And then he's going to do 60 of those, up to 100 on each side. Flex the knee.
Rotate.
Notice how the head moves into the energy column and the knee leaves the energy column as he rotates around, and then he stands back up. Head enters the column, knee leaves the column. Beautiful. Up. Boom. Now let's do, we call them mini maxes or mediums. Let's do a category 1 hurricane. Let's just do a little mini version. Yep. And pump out about 20 of those quick. Up. Bam. Bam. So you got to find what you need in the golf swing. An endurance athlete might need this. Now give me a category 5 hurricane. It's going to look more like this. Yeah. Yeah. And then you can start to see how you can develop a recipe or a regimen for a baseball pitcher, or an endurance athlete like a Kenyan runner, or a world-class long drive athlete. You got to find the energy that the athlete needs for the particular sport inside the mathematics. Beautiful. We call this the Usain Bolt position because Usain Bolt would sit here before he ran that 100 meters. So you're going to be in this position right here. So all you're going to do is reach out, and then you're going to come down, knees to the ground, and then come back up and push to the back chain. That's it. Yep. More narrow, Josh. You only want hands with distance. There you go. Move forward, then move back. You don't have to put your heels on the ground on this. The Usain Bolt module, what we call them bolt rockers, the heels are not on the ground. It's a very athletic move. Yes.
I'm trying to drive into that back chain.
Yeah, you're trying to drive into the back chain, correct. And then you're trying to stay on the power side of your foot, the blade side of your foot, yeah? And that's called bolt rockers. And again, you're gonna do 3 times 20, up to 60. Awakening the bottom outside of the feet. Getting the inside ankle bones high off the back chain dominant technology. Josh, move, the other Josh, go to Josh, yeah. Move your, yeah, and then the heels out a little bit. Go to Josh, there you go. Next exercise. See, I like what you just did right there, Josh. When you went to your unconscious state, everything's settled in perfect.
That's because it's locked in. 4 hours yesterday. It ain't going anywhere.
So this exercise is called boat calf raise. We're going to get in the boat position. Is where you're in this sort of catching position, feet straight, inside ankle bones high, heels are slightly away. And all you're doing is powering a calf raise off the power side of the foot, which is the blade side of the foot. And in Goata, we're always using the power side of the foot. We don't teach artistic dance. We don't teach the luau. We don't teach rowing. We're using the power side of the foot for forward locomotive behavior. And all you're doing is moving up. And when you get real good at it, you can put a little turn in the feet, like a little corner. And then when you come down, you can reset to neutral, corner the feet, back to neutral, corner. That's perfect, Josh. That was a good rep.
Should you feel like you're on the bottom in the back chain, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful. And that exercise is called boat rocker calf raises. All right, this exercise is called heels off the ground air squats. And we're gonna put his feet about a fist width distance. And Josh is gonna move into his back chain first. Then he's gonna let his knees follow the pressure wave mathematics to a 45-degree angle. That's it. Up, butt back, knees out, sit down, squat, butt back, knees out, sit down. Just keep your back heel elevated. That's it. Butt back, knees out, sit down. Perfect. That exercise is called the squat, heels elevated quarter squat. Backdrop ankle gyros. In essence, is crossover, and you're going to use the elevated foot to block the foot into the ground off the power side. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your hip, just like we've been doing in all the exercises. We're going to move it back, out, and then flex. And that's the back ankle drop with the blocked foot. No, you got it. What I'm saying is we're going to drop. Yes. Now flex the knee, point it out. Beautiful. Now up. Flex the knee, point it out. Beautiful. Up. So this is the magic here, right? And then forward, then back, then up and forward, then down and back and in, then up and forward, right? And out. Beautiful. There you go. That's perfect,
You don't
Josh.
I feel like you're trying to
You
screw
want
that
to do
foot
the other
into the
side?
ground.
Yeah.
Well, he's a quick learner because you can see how he's already just feeling the back chain, feeling the back chain, feeling it. There you go. So you can see you can pump them out quick. You know, unless you really want to perfect movement and you slow down, like Christina says, slow down, hit the middle of the golf club. Then when you can do it slow, you can do it fast. There you go.
You see that right here?
What was the one where he was trying to like? He actually went here, and then we went like this.
That was just a variation of it. He was having, he was doing this, he was having to do this.
We're thinking about turning that into an exercise. In essence, is you get into any position, especially the boat rocker position, and then you start to power the pressure waves off the outside of the feet in a flow.
Yeah, there you go. See, because I remember I was showing you with the flat foot situation where it was making the arch in the foot.
Yeah, it's.
So in theory, I could go like this, right?
But with this,
Correct.
Screw that.
Yep.
You know.
Yes.
my
Yep.
head's
Really
still
tight
like
into the
that, but
ground.
Just stay inside the mat, inside ankle bones high. Yep,
My
butt
head
back and
kinda-
away. Knee out 22.5 degrees. Into the back chain. Beautiful.
So this is out 22.
Yep, and when you get really good, you're letting your sternum just come right into the mathematics.
So if
Beautiful.
my ankle.
Then if you want to add this,
and,
because you're not really a
shoulder,
runner,
hip and ankle.
you can add this mat too.
Stacked at rest.
Beautiful.
Hips are, and but my.
Yeah, you're gonna recode easy.
Okay.
Yep. He's
You felt
already-
the difference when you went back. That time was more on the
Yeah, there's
outside.
more room in my hip.
Yes.
That's what we mean by access. You're not changing your swing. You're just going for deeper, warmer water. Yeah. So this exercise is called a backdrop bow isolated, ISO, and it's done for a specific amount of time, up to 6
front
minutes.
plane. I like to use the front plane.
We're just trying to
ribs,
perfect the geometry of the energy wave
the reference
when you
point,
land
so
to Mother Earth.
Here's the front of my chest.
Beautiful.
Here's my front of my hips. Sternum. These bony landmarks in there. Or you can
There it is. He's starting to
shake.
He's starting to shake.
I can see it.
A little bit more rotation.
Line
There you go. Get that knee.
back of your
There
head
you go. All right.
your skull.
Josh, you pull out of it when you want. You're a super athlete. You get to
to
decide.
the outside.
There you go. Look
You
at that
should
thing
have
shake.
at least 3
There you
9
go.
degrees.
Now play around with the technology. Little bitty mini category 1. Little bitty mini fidgets.
You wanna-
There
you
you
wanna
go.
have inside
There you go.
angles high?
Yeah, you can go for
You wanna
help.
have
Just stay in the mat. Just stay in the
channel
mat. That's the difference between us and everybody else. It's
pressure from the outside
qualitative.
edge of the foot.
We want qualitative
Because-
work, not quantitative.
Like an arch.
Quality first.
You know, they tell
Beautiful.
people
There you
like the
go.
arch of the foot.
There's your backswing.
You don't want to collapse the
Deeper,
arch.
warmer,
The arch channels
water.
into the
Right there.
Base is on the outside.
And you're ready to get
That's
there.
why
Imagine if we put a big old 40-pound weight vest on you.
you put the keys
That's how
in
we
it,
train. We
and
want
it sits-
deeper, warmer water. Big 40-pound
it's
weight vest,
channeling
60-pound
energy
weight
out here.
vest. This gets you
It's
strong.
not collapsing in.
You know?
And that's how you want to stay.
I like it.
Yeah.
Flip it to the other side, get some stimulus on the other side.
Arch is high, inside angle. Arch is high.
I mean, is that essentially the breakdown of like just different exercises?
Yes,
you're just
everything's inside the
creating
mat.
different stimuluses
Run from
so that your body doesn't get acclimated.
Yeah.
connection with your
Remember,
ground.
we move
You know,
weight,
the
we
volume
don't lift
finesse,
weight.
whole volume finesse.
That's the key. We move weight, we don't lift weight.
Yep.
Channel.
But back, knee out, flex the knee, all the way goes into the back chain. If you feel it in the knee, it's a front chain dominant experience. It's not Goata.
I'm gonna break this down because I'm
Beautiful. All right, now pound out your minis. Yep. Deep into the 1.618 mathematics. Deep into the 1. There you go. Deep into the 1.618 mathematics. Beautiful. Rep after rep after rep after rep. Time after time after time after time. That's why when you walk into this gym, you see 5, 6 Goata coaches. Everybody's got straight feet in their back chain. You see 30, 40 athletes. Everybody's got straight feet in their back chain. You go year after year, decade after decade, no non-contact catastrophic. We don't do a lot of what you need out there. So you need to start holding some big, nice clubs, and you need to start to swing them on the mat.
Yeah.
Get what you need inside the mathematics.
So people go.
Like Thor's hammer.
Right, I don't know how to get here.
Shoulder joints no different. Just stay on the 22 and a half. And then build that violent velocity into your golf swing. You may get the 160. Pain free. The key. This exercise is called bow walks. Now we're gonna finally put it all together into one big, beautiful singularity. We're gonna be walking right at you, Paul.
All right.
Put socks on or no? Nah, you don't have to. So all we're doing is dropping in now to a bow. Inside the energy column. The head's gonna move in, the knee's gonna move out. Boom. And we're gonna stay in the back chain the whole time and just gonna keep moving. I just missed on my right. Did you see that, Paul? Go ahead, John.
So when I'm landing, I'm
Yes,
Base beat.
yes. You're staying in your back chain. Beautiful. Open up that right hip, Josh. That's what you've been searching for. This is why you hear that right hip don't want to bust. See how sticky it is? Come on, get that right hip over.
On release, and then reset.
Get the right hip to work.
Some
Yeah.
people do this a lot on reset. So you
Yep, it's not your ankle,
like
Josh.
a
It's
flip-flop
Yeah.
and release.
Is it good to kind of hang out here and try
So
to
it'd be like,
just remember
Yes,
keep
that's called freestyle training. In essence, is when you become a go-to mover, your mind's field tells you where to freestyle. We're 100% for that.
you get wild.
You need more in the right hip. Go ahead and get 200-300 reps over there.
I feel like reverse movement backwards too. I could get into that.
Because that's the golf swing.
Gil's going to take me through some POMOs, which is the post,
Post movement fundamentals.
and these are pretty much the
to maintenance or tune a locomotive behavior that you never want to get out of sequence or out of tune. So the locomotive behavior forward is the key to everything because we're designed to move forward. So everything you do away from moving forward, like studying on the computer, sleeping, or at the bar waiting for a drink, needs to be done in the mathematics. And then training can be done to perfect pre-movement fundamentals, pre-moves, or to perfect the energy wave itself.
So this is how we maintain this in our
This is
everyday
how we maintain it.
Got it.
So the concepts are, in geometry, you can take a triangle and flip it upside down, or to the right or to the left. And all we're doing is taking the energy wave and flipping it a million different
Got
sequences
it.
or shapes. So,
Perfect. Let's
yep,
go.
let's try it. Yep. Remember when we say there's a difference between the bow position, the parallel position,
That's a good one.
and the
for feet
corner
straight, 'cause
position.
when you do the rocker,
I want you in the bow in the parallel position because we're still
it's,
working on
well,
shape.
your feet going
Get your butt back.
feet
Tell me what you see.
No.
What are you feeling?
So you gotta. That's
I
something.
mean, I
doing
definitely
this
feel more back
with your
chain.
knees
Like I feel like
You lined up
and your
now.
inside ankle bone
This is the money
kind
pose
of
right here.
normalize.
This is the money pose
Teach
right
your,
here,
Achilles
right here.
tendons.
I got it. Richie's getting close to it. But we need you to be
And
comfortable
also to
here.
relax.
Like this needs to be, this
Relax
how hanging out
down
with my
as far
friends.
as you go.
Michael Jordan.
right.
Go down and get Michael Jordan.
As much as
Resting
you
pose.
have
So
forward,
the knees come in, but the inside ankle bone stays sky high.
and you're flexing the ankle. That's how I
Exactly.
Right
Correct.
here, right? Then you drop one leg back, push your hip back. That's Statue of David waiting. So
stretching out there.
see what I can do? All the weights in the back corner of the hip.
Like that.
Yes! You could be, now relax your arms.
Learning a new position.
This is how you could be at the
That's
ball.
what you
Yeah.
gotta do.
I feel it all in my.
Hanging out.
All right, guys, just heading back to Orlando now. I thought it was a very productive day and a half in New Orleans. I want to thank the Goata team for having me out and sharing some knowledge with me. Overall, I'm super excited to implement some of the things that I learned, all in an effort to kind of unravel this dysfunction in my right hip. It's been something I've been after for a while, and I feel like every year that goes by, I get closer to unraveling it. So it's amazing that the human body is something I really enjoy trying to understand. It's so complex. There's, you know, everything's integrated, and ultimately, you know, you start to realize how much that affects the golf swing. So I know in my mind, if I can get that right hip working a lot better, it's gonna make my swing that much more efficient. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment below. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And also, we have the idea to possibly do more of these vlogs. Let me know what you thought of that, if you guys like this format. If you guys like it, it's something I'll definitely do more of. So other than that, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.